some of the teams here are so even that I think with 4 games to go, I think that form matters more, and even then it's a crapshoot. I mean, I look at Orient. We had an undefeated February, 6 wins. We played, I think, 4 of the top 7 teams, undefeated, and then we lost 3 in 4 games against mid-table teams. I think that 4 games to go, the better teams that exist, you can't count them out because they're playing someone higher up in the table, and I think that's the same as real life. When it comes to the tail end of the season, I'd much rather play a team that's mid-table or up than someone literally fight for their lives, and I've yet to see something that looks so differently here. But again, the beauty of the game, it's we have the same data, but clearly coming with very different analysis there. Though I think it is interesting that you did point that out, because I didn't actually look at the fixtures, but I'm going to stick by Brighton being safe and Huddersfield to go down.
Yeah, guys, when Dan was speaking, Skype crashed. So I've restarted it, but we just cut off you, Dan. So what it means is when I upload it, I'm going to upload part 1, part 2. But I didn't want to start all over again, because we've got some good stuff already. So it's just going to be in two vids. But yeah, Dan, we missed what you said. Can you remember what you said?
What was that about? About Huddersfield?
I think you mentioned the fixtures.
Yeah. Brighton have got to play Wigan and QPR, and Huddersfield have an easier run in playing some of the mid-table teams plus Villa. And I've got Rotherham's here as well. They've got Ipswich, Fulham, Sheffield Wednesday and QPR. So it could really be between Rotherham and, I think, Rotherham or Brighton.
Yeah. So on to Division 1. I can't see the bottom 3 escaping at the moment, but can any of you see something different?
Not for me, actually.
No.
That's simple. Newcastle's on awful form, but I think you've got a 7-point gap and a good goal difference going into the last 4 games. Sunderland again, 4 points ahead. I think there's just so little between these squads and these managers that I can't see magic happening or miracles happening at this stage of the season for one of these 3.
I mean, basically, West Brom whole need 3 wins, really, and I can't see it.
Yeah. I think Sunderland are going to get out of it purely because they're not they obviously won the cup. Now they're out of that. They're probably obviously going to concentrate on the league form now, aren't they? So
they're playing Andy next.
That'll be an easy win for Nick then, won't it?
He's doing well though this season, Andy.
Yeah, he is doing well. He's proven everyone wrong, isn't he? Bless him.
Is he dedicating a bit more time to it, or what?
Yeah. Well, when he come on last time, didn't he? He said that he would.
Yeah, I didn't believe him.
More time. What's that?
I didn't believe him, but
well, there you go. You have to now. No, he has done well, bless him.
Fair
Even
enough.
with the whole goalkeeper situation that we won't.
I've heard about this.
Yeah, Andy and Nick had words. That was funny. That was. Andrew, what do you think about this Division 1? Oh, you've already told us, haven't you?
I have. I can tell you again if you like.
I'm sorry, I'm getting old, mate. Sorry.
As is what I'm going for.
Nick, what do you think?
Well, I think if West Brom had an adequate manager that actually knew what he was doing,
Say what you mean.
then I think that he would probably survive. But the guy has no clue. Like, literally, I think at one stage, like last season, he just played like 7 defenders and 2 up front and just went with it and hoped for the best. He has Luis Suarez, Ibrahimovic and Mohamed Salah up front, right? This lad, he is about to get relegated, right? He's about to have Luis Suarez in the Championship. But what makes it so stupid is he has 12 first-team players and a bunch of 60-rated players. And his players' average age is about 1 million. And then he's got maybe a decent rating. But it doesn't matter what team he's got, he's just a useless manager. So he's not going to go anywhere. I wouldn't be surprised.
Quit, didn't he?
Yeah,
he said he was going to quit at the end of this season. So maybe he's getting them relegated.
I don't think he will. I don't think he'll quit.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if he pulled a Bristol Rovers next year. That's awful. Colas is a weird fella, but he's a nice enough guy, but he just doesn't know football and he doesn't know what he's talking about. And he has no logical.
Maybe he's trying to get relegated to storm the league next year and get a trophy.
Just think of the debt, though. What he's going to get next season.
Yeah,
he's going to
be.
Who's want to go? Who's going to want to go to the Hawthorns on a fucking Thursday night to watch Suarez go up against like Fabian Delph? He's just not going to want to do it. What is that about? I just don't know what his logic is when he's built that team. Like, I mean, at one stage he was using a 77 rated goalkeeper. He's like, I'm fine because I've got strikers. I'm like, yeah, well that's great. You've got no defence and no midfield. And he's like, okay, so what's his result for that? Buy Loris Karius. Yeah, that's a bloody smart idea, isn't it? He's going to save you.
Yeah, he sold Rayner. Nick, before we went on air, we said that Kohler's first 11 probably in the top 6.
Yeah. Like, if you look at his first team rating-wise, his team's a lot better than mine. His team's a lot better than... It's probably on par with Watford, with some of the players that Watford have got. Definitely. And it's better than Everton, better than Southampton, probably about similar to Man United.
They're old, though.
But very old. But so is Stephen. So is Watford. Watford's a very old team, apart from maybe one or two. But it's just about the way you manage the team. Like, if you look at Watford's team, they've got like Cavani, Robinho, Perez, Modric, Koscielny, Sergio Ramos, and Cech. It doesn't shout youth, does it? No. But it's just got a good manager in charge and knows what he's doing. It's actually got more than 11 first-team players. If he gets an injury, he's okay. I mean, he's got some decent younger players as well, like Talisio, Fekir, and Pulisic. But it just shows Kolas is... I don't know what his thoughts are. I'd love to be inside his mind for like 2 seconds just to wonder what he's just thinking in life.
Scary. Matt?
Well, maybe I was looking at it. I'm not looking forward to any of these guys coming down.
Because the strength.
Some of them teams, yeah, especially Hull. I'm now taking a quick look at it. Hull.
I tell you what, I'm looking forward to Orient's 45 average age back four up against Suarez and Ibrahimovic next season. If we get up.
That's if you go up, yeah.
I did say if we go up. I can dream, can't I?
Yes.
I'm sure it'll be 6-0 to Reading in the final, but still, I can dream.
Nah, you got Ali's number.
So have I. He loves to give it to guys. Is that not me? I thought I was special.
Wrong show, Nick.
So
wrong show, mate.
I've just got the only reason I keep mentioning Ali is we actually talk quite a bit through Facebook, and he's a lovely guy, it seems, and he likes to keep saying that I'm doing it wrong and I have to go youth, and he has a valid point. So it's just that much more fun when I manage to beat Ali because I'm doing it wrong. So it just feels that much more satisfying when I beat Ali versus one of the managers. But again, I think Ali's doing a great job. So I'm just having fun there.
No worries. Yeah, as Matt, you were saying, those three go down. They're looking tasty.
Yeah, they're going to be fun for me. I'm going to have to get involved a bit more now. That'll be all right. It'll be a nice challenge if we beat one of them. When we beat one of them.
We say it we said it last season, we've said it this season. Division 2 seems to be the hardest division, and I think Division 2 is going to get even harder next year because you're going to lose a couple of inactive managers. You're going to get active managers from Division 3. You're going to get the teams coming down. So I think Division 2 is going to be a nightmare again. So anyone who's in those playoff areas in Division 2 right now really should be trying to get up. It'd be a nightmare not to.
If I can add one point, though, the thing is, when you get a team with that kind of talent going down, then surely that's increasing what you're likely to get from a chairman as cash influx come the new season.
Does it work like that?
Yeah, because basically, again, from my understanding, I've been playing this game for 8 years, but I never really pay attention to stuff. It's like, ooh, wonderful money. But it's meant to look at the total value of the squad and basically try to equalize somewhat. And if you have a total value of 30 million and everyone else has 100 million, they give you more money than if the differential was 20 million. So a team like WBA coming down might, in some crazy way, put you an extra 2-3 million in the black next year, which you can go and buy another player with, or pay some wages for an old man.
Yeah. When I come down last season, I got only 600 grand for my transfer budget. So he will be, obviously he'll have to sell because you can't rely on 600 grand. I had to sell Dzeko just because the wages were just too ridiculous. So his team, he'll have to dismantle his team if he wants to, keep going.
Will he though? Because surely, again, a team like that is solid. Sell Suarez for silly cash plus 2 players. I'm not sure he has to. That's just it. He has one again, one top talent you can sell, bring in 2 quality players, a bunch of money, and I think it's okay. But maybe it's just the optimist in me that tries to see what can be done. Then again, if this is the team you built, you might not think that way and might just say, go down the ship and I'll accept being 10 million in debt because when I win, I'll get the money and I can fix it. And I know plenty of managers like that. And I imagine a game world where I'm 9.9 million in debt and every other team is just in debt because it was one of those empty squads, small teams, forgetting the fact you get 0 money each week because no one's going to the games and everyone has a Ronaldo or an Ibrahimovic or whatever else. So, I think there is potential. It just depends if Colas does realize what he can do with it, and maybe he's a little less stubborn with what he's trying to do here.
But hang on, guys. Are we completely saying ruling out Colas staying up? Is that not a possibility?
No, I think it's possible. I think it's possible. I just think it's unlikely.
Well, he was in this position last year and he got out of it.
Just
this late on.
One goal I needed to score. One goal.
That's always. Well, the thing is, the team above them is a solid team with a good manager. So I think had there been an extra 4 or 5 games, my money would be on Colas. But if I had to put my money somewhere, I would just about give it to Nick.
Have you seen his running though? He's got West Ham last, so that'll be a win. And then he's got Palace, and then he's got Brentford and Hull. So they've all got to play each other.
Yeah, and Sunderland have got Liverpool next, I think.
Yeah, there you go.
Easy win.
Could go anywhere.
While I've got you all here, who's going to win the league in Division 1? Who's your money on?
Arsenal.
Oh. I did say Ben. To win it, but Johnny, I don't know. I'm going to stay out of it.
Arsenal.
I'm going to say Liverpool will do it. I think he's got it in it.
I'm going to say Liverpool.
What I've seen.
Why Liverpool?
Well, because I know Johnny. So I can't
Because he's
say
his
it the other
fanboy.
two.
So you can write out Chelsea though.
Definitely not.
They've got.
No, as long as you've got Ronaldo, you've got a chance.
Yeah.
Look at Chelsea's last result, guys.
That's it.
Yeah, we'll bring that one up because I really want to talk about that.
All right. So,
We'll mention that in a minute. We'll talk about that in a second.
well, that's
but
a nice thing because all I wanted to do was introduce you guys, get your seasons, your individual seasons, and discuss relegation. And now I'm going to just take a back seat, and it's all up to you four. Now you can just dictate what you want to talk about.
Oh, that would make no sense though because we could all just start talking.
Well, one of you
Okay,
take,
let's start with
obviously
Nick.
take turns.
And go from
Yeah,
there.
if it's on Sky Sports News, you were the host. You went right. I'm just gonna. You two, bring this one.
Can I just add something on that title race?
Yeah,
Oh,
go on.
please.
The last games are Arsenal, Chelsea, and Watford, Liverpool.
Yeah.
It's a top 4.
Brilliant,
that-
isn't it?
That is tasty. That is
Fixed.
nice.
We should do a little show for that, I think.
If
That's
this was
worth a
Russia,
show.
you'd say that was fixed.
Yeah.
We'll do a little panel show for that. A Division 1 title exclusive.
I think that Arsenal will still win the league because of the fact that
Bridesmaid Ben, Nick.
what?
He never gets the wedding dress, mate.
No, I know he's a bridesmaid, but never a bride. But I think that he's got it in him to win it. I think that Liverpool got a good team, but I think Arsenal's team's just slightly better. And I think that Arsenal will move on from their draw with Liverpool.
Did you see Arsenal bought Higuain and got rid of Lacazette?
Yes, that's a good move. But not only that,
Not a panic signing.
No, that's a huge upgrade.
Higuain is 10 times the player that Lacazette is this season.
Yeah.
Higuain is
No, I
smashed
agree.
for Juventus. The Lacazette can't even get in the Arsenal starting 11 in an Arsenal in real life. There's an audacity and a travesty to football.
I agree.
Playing under a manager that should have left the club about 20 years ago. But no, literally, I think Ben's got it. When you have Messi, I think you've always got a chance.
So he's got Messi, Neymar, and Higuain.
Yeah, exactly.
And
With that,
Mbappe. And Mbappe.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, what idiot sold Arsenal Mbappe? I mean, why would you do that?
Okay, quick question though. Do you think the cup semis might affect Arsenal's chances?
Well, they did, didn't they? They did have an effect.
Well, I mean European. That's a European competition.
No,
No, that doesn't affect it.
No. They don't lose fitness, do they?
Yeah, maybe he's either in his mind. Players
think
get excited.
It depends on the next 2 games for Arsenal because they've got Spurs and Man City, and if you looked at that in real terms, you think, oh wow, they're really hard games. But then when you look at the guys in charge of Man City and Tottenham, you don't worry so much. So especially Man City, I mean, we started talking about this, and we just got to talk about it. He lost fucking 5-0 to Chelsea. 5-0 as Manchester City manager. Like, I have a lot of time for Craig as a guy, he's a nice guy. He's got problems and that with everything going on, but I don't understand his logic. He's managing probably the best team in the game world to start with.
Well, they were. They're not now.
And they have, like, I don't know how you go from those players to the team he's got now. I just don't understand it. I don't know how you do it. He done like a hammer. He pulled a hammer.
It's funny that obviously he won it last season, and now he's doing basically what Hammer done, isn't it?
Maybe they're just the same person.
Who knows? Panel exclusive.
Yeah. Didn't both on the same panel show, but unfortunately, some of us. But no, literally, I don't know. Like, so when the game world was made, obviously I own the game world, but it happened quite quickly.
Do you own the game world, Nick?
I do, yeah.
You've never said.
That's the first time I've mentioned it. So in this panel show, but no, literally, I didn't assign the teams, so there was a few Division 1 teams that people just claimed. I was like, yeah, whatever. I recognise some of the names, I'll give it to it. But if I look back a bit now, like, I could have given Man City to someone, and they probably would have dominated the division for 2 seasons or more. And they've been like them and Spurs just got absolutely mullered.
Yeah.
You could have a Spurs team and leave it as it is and add like 2 players, and you could probably be in a chance of winning the title. But no, Hammer didn't do that. He fucking ruined them.
Right then, Nick, did you you had a few things you wanted to bring up? Was it?
A few of them have been brought up already about Bristol Rovers and Man City.
Yeah.
I just think, as obviously we're drawing the season's close, and I think we should just sort of review a couple of the teams that perhaps haven't done so well. And before we went on air, we said we were going to take it easy on a certain manager, and I agreed to it because I knew that if I hadn't, then it probably would have been fair for Rob to do the show. But I'm not going to leave it. Manchester United are diabolically shit, right? How can you have Harry Kane and be on a minus goal difference? Not only that, but you come up with excuses all the time about how you haven't scored goals and how you haven't got a striker. You got Harry fucking Kane, probably one of the best strikers in the world.
To be fair, he's like 5th or 6th in the high scoring. Harry Kane is so. He's the 6th highest scorer.
Yeah, he's got 16 goals, which is quite poor actually in 34 games. But I'm not being funny, right? But that team that he's got at Manchester United should easily be where Chelsea are and pushing on. Like, I don't understand. It must be the tactics. It's got to be. There's something he's doing physically wrong because you don't have a team where you've got De Gea and Alaba and Verratti and Coutinho and Kane and Mertens and not be pushing for a title, but instead be level on points with my team, which I built was not in mind for second season. I was thinking 3rd or 4th season to be in the top 8, 6, but I just don't know. Like, they say we give him a hard time, but he deserves it. He full on deserves it. Like, I love Kev as a guy, but he's just I don't know how I would be so embarrassed to be managing my own team and doing that diabolically shit. Like when I nearly got relegated with West Ham last season, I was like, I'm going to leave. Even though it's my game world, I'm going to leave. But I stayed. But there's got to be a point where Kev turns around to himself and goes, I'm not right for this job. I should challenge myself at a smaller team where I belong and leave Manchester United for someone more worthy.
I'll take it.
Would you, Andrew? Would you be up for that?
I tell you what, I would honorably leave Orient for the United job. And that's because I'm a United fan. I'd feel guilty taking Kev's team because I think... What was that? Is that not allowed to be a United fan?
Well, no comment.
No comment. Anyway, no, I think it's a great challenge. I think that Kev has built a very good squad and a very good team. Hasn't worked out, but I don't see how it's a worse job than Man City.
Andrew, what would your advice to Kev be? Keep going, stay on?
Shut out the rest of the managers whinging because he's got a team that they'd love to have. Fact of the matter is, you look at Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, not every team can win. Yes, Kev knows he's done an awful job. I am shocked that they have 45 points. And I've managed with Kev and playing at the Worlds, and he tends to do very well. Just accept things haven't gone right and expect a new season next year. I think should he reach the 19 game point next season and he's doing equally poorly, I think he might cave and say, okay, you know what, guys, I'm just tired of listening to you all. But I'm not advocating for that. And I think that with the team he's built, there's a great blend of experience and youth. There's money there to be made. And I can imagine him turning it around come next season. But yes, I would be the first name in the hat should United position come open. And that's officially recorded now, so can't take it back.
But like I'm not saying that Kev's not a good guy. Like he's a great guy, and he does get wound up really easily. But I don't know how you can do that badly. But then again, Mourinho's doing badly in real life, so
yeah, that's what.
So. I don't. It's still doing bad. They play worse football ever. It's just like, oh yeah, go 1-0 up and put everyone in defence.
Yeah. Let's play Pogba, Lukaku, Rashford, and Martial, and then just sit back and defend for 90 minutes against Man City and Liverpool. So, anyway,
I can't really talk about real life. I'm a West Ham fan, so that's an atrocity of the highest magnitude.
You suffered enough.
Yeah,
you suffered enough.
It's been 17 years of shit now. 18 years, sorry. 18 years.
Nick, we're going off on a tangent here.
Can I change the subject?
Yeah, go on, Dan. Change subject.
Please.
And chance to change subject. Right. There's been a 40 squad cap imposed for next season, hasn't there?
Oh, this is a good subject.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was going to just give you a couple of suggestions, Nick.
Yeah, 30.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No. It kind of... Yeah. Anyway, just stay with me. Right. I thought personally, it should be about 30 squad cap. That's what I personally thought, or 35. That's what I thought. But we could have a 40 squad cap, but like on condition that if there's a 40 squad cap, then teams above 30 squad cap should field a full 16 players in a youth league. So we start up a youth league that runs every week or half the season or something. So at least the teams, with youth can actually use them, can't they? And it doesn't affect it. And then it looks better for the game world, doesn't it? Then, the youth league come in for every season. Something extra. Then Division 1 teams, every Division 1 side should field a team in the youth league. Then below Division 1, it's optional. So, just a suggestion. What do you think?
Well,
I think it's flawed because some teams in Division 1 are not going to have the budget.
Well, you should. I'm sorry, you're in Division 1, for goodness sake. Well, how much money is... Look at Brentford. Look at Brentford this year. Brentford couldn't have done it. Yeah. That's fair enough. There's... Obviously, they got ruined. They got absolutely ruined. But if a proper manager actually, done the team, then you could have a team of youths, 16 youth players. Then,
but then won't that mean that the smaller clubs are having their players poached, their transfer targets poached?
It could be, or maybe it runs a certain time. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm in a Game World Top 100. And they have a youth league. Yeah. And they have a youth cup, and it's a brilliant idea. Like I do really well in the youth cup, as you would imagine. And I think it was something I wanted to implement into the game world because I'm always favour the younger players. I never buy old players, ever, never will. But like I agree, it'll be an awesome idea. But I agree with what Rob says as well. I thought about it, and I was going to put it in this season or next season, and then I was going to actually have a real life prize at the end of it. I mentioned about in a panel show last season, having like a real monetary value prize at the end of the season for whoever won it. But yeah, I would agree that say for example, teams in Division 3 and 4 then might find themselves challenging for 75 rated or 78 rated under 18s or 19s, whereas perhaps before, like there's lots of players out there that I would love to have signed for West Ham, and I see them going for really cheap, and but I give up on them because I thought I'm not going to do that to someone because they're never going to start in my team, whereas they probably benefit a Division 4 team more than they would me. But I do like the idea of doing a youth league nonetheless, and I would like have an obligation to enter it as a Division 1 team. That would be pretty cool. But I mean, it's going to be hard because no one's really built their team. Or like, if you look at like Watford, or if you look at I don't know, even Arsenal, they haven't got really a strong under 21 team that can enter into the tournament.
Okay, I've got an addition point. Sorry.
No, maybe after a couple of seasons, when the lower teams have got a bit more money and have a better squad, maybe then put it in then.
Yeah. Like the squad cap will be going down each year from now.
Yeah.
So it's going to go from it was uncapped in the season 1. Then this season it was 50. Next season it's 40. The season after it'll be 35 at the start of the season, with 30 coming in at the end of season 4.
Yeah.
That's a change for you, Nick. Have you changed your tune, or were you always thinking that way?
I was always thinking that way because of the fact that right now, in the startings of the game world, you're going to have a lot of players out there that are going to be free, and each team's going to need to have a certain amount. Like if you have a 50 squad in the first season, it gives you best stead for the next season to sell off 10 players for this 40 cap and have a lot of profit and make money. So that in the first season there was a way to lay down a foundation at any sort of club, whether it be big or small. You can lay down like at West Ham, I bought players that were rising but a higher rating rather than the mid 70s to early 80s. I bought mid 80s to 80s plus, like Leon Bailey and Toljan and also Raza Blanga, I don't know how to pronounce his name, the Bilbao keeper. I signed when he was 87. He was my first choice keeper in the Premier League, which is probably quite low, but he rose to 89, and now I have Ter Stegen. So you can lay down a foundation, and that's what I wanted to do. But the cap will go down because otherwise the transfer market could dry out. But I doubt it will because there's new players added all the time. And some games, some players that are playing now, it'll take Soccer Manager a year to put them on the database because they're that shit.
Yeah.
So you'll always have new players added in.
Andrew, were you going to say something?
No, my point about the youth league, maybe I've just misunderstood how it worked, but you take a team like Leeds, 26 players, fighting for mid-table, expecting them to basically have to dismantle their team to go and buy a bunch of youngsters. I just think you're making it so hard for anyone other than the top 4, 5, 6 teams to really ever compete. And I know it's one thing to invest in youth, but to be in a Premier League team and be that competitive and have 11 of them that are actually good enough to make it worthwhile than being a separate league, I think it's a nice idea, but I think it's a step too far for such a competitive league with so many managers.
Well, in season 1 we did have the optional Youth Cup.
Yeah.
Could we not have a better version of that?
Like I honestly think, like I say, I did mention it last season as well, the implementing an under 23 cup or under 23. Because most under 21 teams go up to under 23 anyway. And I thought it would be a really good idea. And then obviously, I did offer a monetary value thing at the end of it, but then I got told by a Soccer Manager we can't do that because it breaches the rules of the game. Unfortunately, because I was going to use like a Virgin experience, like do like, I don't know, like a holiday for 2 in London for a weekend break or something like that. Or if it was local to, obviously, if Andrew won it or whatever, something that could be experienced locally to him for like a weekend, like, well, I don't know what he'd do in Philadelphia, probably, eat steak.
Nick, how would Soccer Manager find out?
People talk a lot.
Yeah, people talk a lot, and they mention it, and it does happen. Like it happened in another game where I was in about 5 years ago, and the person who done it got banned from the game.
I have a question though, because I know a manager who does this quite a bit, and he has prizes like, hey, you enter, and if you do certain targets, you get £5 and £10 cash or SM credits. I thought the issue with SM was only if you're charging people to be part of it.
Yes, that is one of them, but that is very bad. But also, if it's Soccer Manager wise, then they're often okay with that. So, for example, if you're saying that you'll buy them a year's gold membership if they win it, but no one in here wants a gold membership, even I don't really want it, but I've got one, and I'm in gold championships, but they're dead as fuck. So, I mean, there's on offering someone a game world, and then you've got to try and think of a game world concept to build, and then get people in. So it might not be worthwhile doing that either. But I'm all up for doing new things and bringing things into it. Like we've obviously built lots of new game modes since then. Some of them have gone really well. Some of them have gone dreadful. Some of them went as expected. Like for example, there's some out there that we were all quite hyped about, and then it just didn't work out. But TFF remained constant, like consistent. There's never been anyone thought to themselves, "Oh, the game mode's dying," and I don't think it will. Like there's game modes that go for like 10 seasons, 12 seasons, and then they sort of filter out. But I think we'll be okay because we've got good managers that know what they're doing, and there's always new players out there that like if you'd started this game mode like a year ago, most people wouldn't have even opted to buy Mbappe. They probably would have just used him as a, like, I remember when I first come back to Soccer Manager in 2016, I signed Mbappe for loads of teams, like 70 rated, but no one really know who he was.
Yep.
And now look at him. But like players like that are added, and you got to know like be lucky as well at times. Like take a risk on buying the lower rated players and see whether it works out. Because it
Nick,
can
I
do.
want to ask Matt. Matt, what sort of manager are you? Do you build? Are you more like Andrew, or would you go down the youth road, or what?
No, I'm a combination of the both, really.
Yeah, you're like me then.
Yeah, I don't like to stick to one way. I don't like the oldies, if I'm honest. Hence why I left Millwall.
Yeah.
Didn't really go anywhere.
So if you're like
but...
Rob, does that mean you'll be leaving the game world 16 times and coming back again?
No, I won't be leaving. How many times you left?
I've left about 3 times. I've had a very busy. I've just moved to Russia, and
Russia from what?
He managed Colchester. He quit Colchester. He won the league with Colchester. He quit Colchester. He took Brentford.
He didn't win the league. Doc won the league.
Oh, shut up!
Never got that.
He bottled it.
Okay. He then left England, took on Brentford, left Brentford, took on Burton, left Burton, and now he's at Southend. So that's 6 times he's been in the game world.
No, that's not right. I took that. It's 4.
No,
It was just a joke.
No, I've had 5 teams, but I was only in Brentford for about a week, and then I swapped over with. I never managed the game with Brentford.
That's even worse.
Well, not really.
Rob.
I let Doc have them. I thought that was nice of me. And
Oh, okay. Well, if you thought it was nice, then I'll let you have it.
And all the teams I've left in good shape as well. Anyway, we're not going to talk about me, are we? Talk about you, Matt.
Yeah, no, well, Millwall, I didn't know really what I was getting myself into. Just sort of took it on.
This club is an unloved club because every manager has said the same thing about Millwall.
Well, I don't know who decided to do that.
Carry on.
It got ruined though, didn't it? It got ruined for like Luke.
Yeah,
Purpose to ruin it.
Luke Holden's a shit manager.
No. Then Klopp kind of got it going, didn't he?
No, but with Preston, I can now drip in the youth slowly. Is my plan.
Yeah.
Without giving you guys too much insight. But yeah, drip in the youth. Hopefully help Dan win the league is what he's hoping.
Is that allowed?
He's got Wigan and Gillingham, haven't you?
Fair enough.
Yeah, tough start, really.
So,
But no,
I mean,
Griffin
realistically, where could Preston come next season? What would be a good season?
I'm aiming playoffs next season. Definitely.
I mean, that's a big target, mate.
Nah, I got to go for it.
Got to. That's a good squad there.
Yeah, no, I've got a good squad, so I'm.
I thought you were going to say mid-table. That's ambitious.
Well, I didn't. I've only really looked at the league properly tonight before I came on here, and I'm actually a lot closer to the bottom half than I thought I was.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was a bit uncomfortable, but now we'll be fine. The plan is to, like I said, drip the youth in slowly now because there's more players in there, replace them, and then go from there. Really, slow and steady. I don't plan on trying to win it straight away.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Oh, one last thing. Just put it out there. I won't mention names. It doesn't matter, but we've had some positive feedback about this panel thing, and we have some negative feedback about this panel thing. And I just wondered what your guys' thoughts are. You're on it, so any thoughts? Should we keep it going, or?
Yes, I think that there is some fairies within our group, some big old fairies, and they need to man up, basically. I must admit, right, I've been in a lot of group chats with a lot of people that I know. Obviously, we're all men, but I've never seen so many handbags in such a group of men. Like, literally, like, it's like, oh, he said this about me, and she said that, and I said this, and I didn't mean that. Like, seriously, get over yourself. You're like, most of them are middle-aged men Like if you can't do that, then I don't know. Maybe they're just like miserable in their home lives with their wife or their partner, and they can't have a go at them. So they come into us and like, you're all a bunch of wankers. All you do is you target us, and you're fucking horrible about me because I'm doing shit. But if you're doing shit, what do you expect? Like,
the thing I don't, Nick, I do this panel show, and I get a lot of people private messaging me, having a go at me, and I think, why aren't they messaging you? You're the one who runs this game world. What have I got to do with it?
Most people probably don't know he runs the game world, but they know your face.
Yeah, but I'm not making decisions. But I had 3 people have a go at me this week, privately, but I won't.
You weren't even in the game world.
I know.
I think I'll try to defend. I will somewhat defend the people who are upset. I see the handbags. I step away. I can't be bothered with it. It's not worth my time. I think sometimes I've seen negative comments on here, and you think that's fair. That's a fair point. The point of the panel is to share views, but sometimes it does sound to me like you're targeting someone and you're being personal and aggressive, and no one wants to be picked up.
Do you mean on this show, Andrew?
Generally, I've seen a couple of comments like, well, do you need to make such a point about someone in such an aggressive way? At the end of the day, I've heard comments that it's clearly you don't like the guy and you're using this as a forum to basically slag him off.
You're talking about the Facebook group now, though.
More the Facebook group, but even in a couple of the panel shows. Again, I'm not saying it's there. I think the panel shows are great. I wouldn't have come on otherwise. But I can understand why 1 or 2 managers might get upset when 4 guys go online out of their way to just pick on them. Well, and sometimes I can understand why someone might not really appreciate 4 random guys saying, this guy is a wanker.
So, Andrew, I'm going to come back at you, and that was well put, and I respect what you said, because you got a valid point. So I'm going to say this. I don't think it's 4 random guys having a go at one guy, because only from my point of view, it's never personal. But you have a game world. There's 80 teams and 80 managers. What are we doing this show for? We're doing this show to add a bit of realism and a bit of fun and add another dimension to the game world. That's why we're doing it. Now,
which is great.
As to do this panel show, how do we do it? Do I come on here and just say everyone's wonderful and great job everyone, high five? Or do I come on here and do I put questions to people that people watching want to find out? And also, if a manager is underperforming, is it not the job of the panel show to dig them out? Yeah, and furthermore, is certain jobs you're going to get more criticism anyway because they're the biggest jobs in the game.
Yeah, but they get criticised every single time. I've seen it. I've listened to it. I love the panel shows, but every single panel show, there's the same certain people always do get
I said to Nick before this show today, do not mention Man United. Let's give him a break. And he still mentions Man United.
Yeah.
Okay, but again, the point I was making was not about...
Go on, Andrew.
I'll let you go, Nick.
I haven't been on a panel show. I've been on 1 panel show this year, right? So I haven't said anything. And in the group, I don't really say anything to anyone. I don't give abuse out. I give banter to some people that I know that can take it. The likes of sort of you, Rob, or Noisy, or Bose. Like, I know they can take it, so I give abuse. But like with certain fairies within the group, I don't lean on them. So like I'd never go in the group and just say to Kev or say to Nick, "Oh, this your shit," but. Because they're not, like, obviously, it's a virtual game, let's be honest. But in real life, if someone was at a team that, I don't know, like, you don't see every week when Man United play awful in real life or when Chelsea play awful in real life, they don't go, oh, yeah, Conte, you're an amazing manager. It's unfortunate you did so badly and you lost 4-1 to Watford. But it's okay because you're really good, don't worry about it. Or Mourinho, oh, you got knocked out of the Champions League.
Yeah, Nick, I want to add to that. So just to say to Dan and Andrew, the results dictate what we say. Chelsea got a lot of stick last year. Chelsea, we've given him a lot of praise. I've given Kev praise on how he's built his team. I think he's put a really great squad together.
I'm not talking about Kev. And again, to me, the point is nothing wrong in saying, Kev, you've not done a good job this season. Man City manager, you've done a poor season. But there's a difference between you've done a poor job in your role with that team's performing. Another thing to say, Rob, you're an idiot. Rob, you're a prat. Rob, you are.
But and have we said that on this,
I've not seen much of it, but there's a personal attack as on a person, and then there's the attack on the job that they've done.
But who's been
And
personal?
I know sometimes it's hard to differentiate them, but
Andrew,
there is a differential.
Andrew, I agree with you, but who's been personal? And on this panel show, when has it got personal?
Poof.
I know Hammer's taken a fair bit of stick.
Oh, but Hammer can take anything. He's been in prison. He can take anything.
I don't know, mate. Hammer gets a bit upset, mate.
No, he
Again,
does.
I'm talking generics. I'm saying I could see where people might at times struggle to see that grey area. And again, I'm not picking on anyone because I think the panel's great. And Rob, I think the fact that you were willing to do this show, not in part of the world, is fantastic. And I think that this is one of the reasons that I should be right now studying for my thesis, and I'm spending an hour talking to people about Soccer Manager. It's great. Thank you very much. But you asked the question of what's a positive, what's a negative?
Yeah.
Some people do go personal. Some people are more sensitive. Some people are fairies, and some people are tough. But when you go beyond the job you've done and you go towards the attack on a person, not using specific examples, I can't have any on the top of my head at the moment, but that to me is the danger of this kind of show. When it feels as though you're not attacking my West Ham, you're attacking me.
Andrew,
some
I
people
agree
have to
with
get
you,
over
man.
it, but sometimes it's going to be there.
Andrew, I agree with that, and I don't want this panel show to become this toxic thing and people think of it as a poisonous slagging off fest. I generally want people to come on and just voice their opinions, but like you said, in a respectful way. It's not meant to be personal.
For example, when I commented on the only person I probably have gone a bit into today was Colas, but then again, I did say he is a nice guy because he is a nice guy.
He is a nice guy. Kev's a nice guy. Craig's a nice guy.
I just don't think Colas has much of a football brain, but I think that's down to the Soccer Manager rather than anything else. Not like in real life. I'm pretty sure he's probably a smart guy. Maybe, I don't know, but. I don't come on often, and I know people that can take. I can take anything. Like you could say anything you want to me, and I'd take it pretty much on the chin. I know. Like last season, I got a lot of abuse on these videos when West Ham were near the bottom of the table.
Yeah, but it was justified.
Exactly. So
you were doing shit.
Said Dan who got relegated.
I took over halfway.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. How did that feel when your team you left got promoted?
Do you know what? Being honest, I wouldn't change what I've done because I've gone to Bournemouth, smaller club. I actually feel I've done more with Bournemouth than I did with Leeds last season, and I actually feel like I've made my own team now, and Bournemouth is my own. So
as long as you're happy.
Yeah, I'm
glad you're happy.
I'll be even happier if I bloody go up.
Yeah.
Well,
but at the end of the day,
Matt, you're thinking, what the bloody hell have I talked myself into here?
Hey, I've walked into something here.
Yeah, bunch of loonies here.
But listen, like this is a virtual game, right? And we're in a group of people, and I've met you, Rob, in real life, and I've met a few other people from Soccer Manager in real life, and I've even met my friend from Sweden on Soccer Manager. He flew over to England to meet me in London, and we went for a beer. And it was just a good time, like catching up about real life things, and it is a good way to escape from certain things and have a laugh and enjoy yourself.
Well, that's the word. It's escapism. It's escapism. That's all it is. It's a bit of fun, lads. And this is. I know that a lot of people think we're a bunch of sad wankers, especially the wives and girlfriends and all the rest of it. But at the end of the day, it's a bit of fun. It's a little community.
Maybe there's a reason some of us are single.
Me. But I like the fact that we're all dotted all over the place, and we all, But I do agree. I think some of the stuff that goes on in the Facebook group at times is poor. I think certain people could definitely improve their conduct. I don't like it when it gets really personal. I don't.
No, but the thing
That's why I've muted it.
Everyone should mute it, Dan, because it's on 24/7.
Yeah, but like literally, I with all the people that's happened recently. So the ones that have obviously, I think have been unfairly at times treated is definitely like obviously Kev and Nick. At times, I can understand why they would be pissed off with some of the stuff that's been said, but I think the way that Nick went about the new game world was a bit iffy. But I think that at the same time, he's a nice guy and he's had a hard year, and I think that he needs to be cut a little bit of slack, perhaps. But then also some people you think you don't offend, so you say something and you think they to laugh it off once, and you're like, oh yeah. Like when you wind up Hammer about the fact he used to probably get fucked in the showers by other men. And he can take that a couple of times, but after the third time...
because it gets boring, it gets repetitive. Some people's humour is just purely being insulting, and that is not particularly funny after a while. That's
Yeah.
not witty, is it?
But like I can understand like for example, having a bit of banter. Like with my friends external to this, like I have banter all the time, and you like give each other abuse, and you can because we know each other personally. But like we know each other through a screen and through playing a game together. So at times it can be a bit harsh, but like everyone always comments on my wife all the time about how obviously she's quite fit. And say stuff and make jokes, and I take it. I laugh it off, and it doesn't bother me.
No, Nick. No, look, Nick. Let's have it right. You're the main one who's instigating that.
Mostly about Ben's girlfriend. Yeah, I mean she's
let's,
alright.
Let's leave family out of it. Right.
Yeah.
I've got nothing to add, and the combined videos have gone over for an hour, so I'm happy to wrap it up unless anyone's got any last minute thing they want to add.
Always wrap it up. That's my motto. So well done, Rob.
How long are you going to be in the game world for then, Rob? Until the next time you leave?
I'm here to stay.
Can we start a tally? Can we start a bet?
Yeah.
I was never really gone, was I? You know.
Well, you were because you quit.
Yeah, I was still keeping an eye on things.
Yeah, you know, like staring over us.
Russian spies.
Yeah.
I will start.
That's a big thing over here, Russian spies. You know.
Yeah, I know, but don't believe everything you read in the papers. Look, I'm living in Russia, and the people are very friendly.
Yeah, I'm not worried about this. Right? You're in Russia. He's in Andrew's in America, and we're in the UK. The CIA are probably listening to this right now, thinking,
Yeah.
"What the fuck is this?"
What is this Colas word? Let's figure this out. Yeah. We're
Yeah,
probably
like
red
this-
alert right now.
Yeah. No, and NSA listen to everything we do.
Just
Yeah,
don't
exactly.
mention bombs, KGB, and nerve gas. We'll be fine. Oh,
Oops.
No, I want to talk about
Well, now you've
ISIS.
just mentioned it, so we're fucked.
Yeah, no,
Thanks, Rob.
Cheers, mate.
Dan, we live in Norfolk. We're fine. We're in the middle of
Oh,
nowhere.
yeah, true. Yeah.
You've got sheep over there, don't you?
What's that?
Sheep over there. Lots of sheep.
that's Wales.
Yes, we have a lot of sheep.
I thought
There's
it
sheep
was
over there.
Wales.
And a lot of
I have
traps.
a lot of brothers and sisters that are all the same
Oh, that's
people.
it. That's it.
Oh,
Cancel
there
it.
it is. That one. There
Well, I
it is.
studied the culture for 4 years.
0.6.
Yeah. They have you know, they have their sisters who's their mother, who's their grandma, or something like that. I'm not too sure.
That isn't really insulting.
Related.
It's actually Ipswich. That all happens in Ipswich.
I was Ipswich. See, when I was in culture, they kept saying it was Norwich.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sorry.
Suffolk, you know. You should
I'm only one. Don't take this personally, Jesus.
Right, you lot are like a bunch of old women. We're going to wrap this up. Thanks very much
Take
for
care,
coming
bro.
on.
Have a great evening.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.